I gotta hurry up. I got kids I have to pick up. Yo, 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 you made it. You're here. You are here. Thanks so much for joining us. We're the Pot Smoking Moms. We have a podcast and we talk about parenting and cannabis. I am one of your hosts, Sunny D, along with my homegirl, Captain J.
Hello. Welcome back, everyone.
Welcome back. If you're new here, welcome. If you like us, please rate, subscribe, share, be friends with us on all the social medias. All of them. Not just one of them. All of them. PotsmokingMoms.com is the website. We have everything there. Like our Patreon. Like we have a whole patron section and you can contribute to this wonderful podcast. And I mean,
and other content, so many our game show.
Yeah, all kinds of wonderful
our quirky,
things.
silly TikToks.
Yes. What we also would like to invite you to smoke with us. This is a perfect time for you to grab something smoking. You might as well, right? We're here. We're doing it. What are you smoking on today?
I got here a little bit of a Star Dog, a hybrid.
Nice, nice. I got Purple Wookie, an indica.
Look at you with the indicas.
I know, doing it up.
I converted you.
Yeah. Cheers.
Cheers.
Get a little interlude music while you smoke it up. Well, on the way the time cold, I wanna be keeping you warm. I got the right temperature. We were gonna talk about Sean Paul, but I just because I wanted to play the music. So there we go. We got that out of the way. We got that out of the way. We got some stuff going on this week. It's interesting. We were talking, so we now have cool smoke gear because we are the Pot Smoking Moms. Like we were talking about this earlier, and I was like, well, if we, our husbands call us weed nerds, and it's funny because Jay had got me a toker poker, and it's like a thing you put your lighter in, and it has a little long poker to poke all your bowls out, and then it has a little edge to like cash your bowls out.
To like smush your bowl.
Yeah, to smush the bowl. So like you can have a fully packed bowl and sometimes you don't want to smoke the whole bowl. So you just corner out a little piece and you just smoke it like in quarters of your bowl. Especially if like that big ass bowl you have on that thing is huge. Like I cannot smoke that whole bowl at all in one sitting. So getting called nerds, guess who stole my toker poker?
Your hubby.
Yeah, he was
after making fun of you for it.
Yeah, after making fun of me for all the shit we got, and now he has held that hostage and he's using it. And yesterday, he turned around, looked at me, and was like super jazzed about it, like I had never seen it, like it wasn't mine to begin with, showing me what it does. And I was like, dude, it's mine. Yeah. Why are you showing me how it works?
I'm pretty sure when I showed my husband too, he's like, well, you could just use a toothpick or something. And I'm like, yeah, but this is always with you with the lighter. And you don't have to go looking for the toothpick. And and
you don't have to dirty 1,000 toothpicks.
Yeah, and throwing away a bunch of toothpicks.
Right, exactly. So we have all these devices just because we're doing this podcast. Because otherwise, I'd be in the ice ages still.
Before we started this podcast, like, let's be real, I only smoked J's and bowls. I haven't had a bong since I was like in my early 20s. Right. Now I have like 6.
Yeah. Right. Exactly. But if we weren't doing this podcast,
it reawakened my love. Like I didn't like bongs before, but now I can appreciate them.
Right. And then the student glass. Have you seen that one? That shit's ridiculous. Somebody had hit me up. And I was like, that's not like, but that is party smoking. That would not be like it's like a gravity bong. And that is like hardcore.
That's intense.
And that's not something to just do by yourself. Like,
I feel like you go through a lot of weed in that, right?
Yeah, I too, also. So that's why I think it would be good for sharing.
Yeah.
That's also. But I just thought it was really funny that we have these devices and, our husbands make fun of us. And then they turn around and see how useful these things are. And, yeah. So that's fun. That happened this week. Any fun things happen for you too?
Not really. Nothing fun happening here.
Oh,
just moving into my house.
Oh yeah. Oh my God, we're in her house.
This is the first time we're back in my house
now. Yeah. I mean, there's still, you still
it's
got
not
work to do,
put together.
But it looks so good.
Thank you.
It looks so good.
It's almost done.
How nice.
Light at the end of the tunnel.
And it's so nice to have new things that you put in your house to your taste and your liking, and you picked it out. It's hard to move into a house that has like new stuff. And you kind of say, well, okay,
I would have done this different. I don't really like that.
You're right. But you kind of have to live with it because you're not going to splurge on a ton of shit right away.
Exactly.
So you kind of have to. But yeah, it's really nice.
I mean, we've been here 7 years, so now we're finally doing a big reno.
Yeah. Good. And you did a big one.
Yeah.
It's good, though.
It's almost over.
Congratulations on that.
You.
Congratulations on your TikTok comment blowing up.
Oh my God.
Usually I'm on the side of the
I've
fence.
never gotten so much heat off of a comment.
Yeah. Isn't it nuts?
And I wasn't even being rude or mean or anything. I was just correcting him. Not correcting him. Okay, that's wrong.
So
I don't like being called a girl. Like, I feel like it's kind of demeaning. Like, girls.
Yeah, it's condescending, and I would say
that's better.
Especially in the workplace.
Yeah.
I don't care if my dad calls me girl or if some stranger even calls me girl. He don't know who I am, but like my boss in a workplace.
No,
you're not gonna call me girl.
I'm not a girl, and it's already like they're already making a joke about periods and stuff. And I thought it was funny.
Right? Okay. So
and I thought it was a good gesture and it was cute. But the girl thing was kind of like.
We should set up what the TikTok is and what the comment was. So the TikTok. Let me find the TikTok is of this doctor, and the joke is
that he works with an office full of girls, right, and they're in sync. And there's little blood drops.
Right. Oh, somebody's complaining because I was like...
Because you said something.
I tagged them. Yeah, so I tagged all the girls who had something slick to say. And I was like, I'm going to talk about you on our podcast. So now someone has a problem about that. Whatever. So, okay. So let me set it up. So, right. So it's the doctor and he's getting all the girls that work, all the ladies that work for him.
Which is awesome.
Right. He's buying them lunch, but because they're all on their period.
Yeah.
So, I mean, like, we're not trying to be... We are humorous at all times. We understand it. It's funny.
Yeah, I thought it was funny. I didn't think it was a bad joke.
Again, sometimes we make comments because we just make a comment. But since people that follow us see our comment first, then... It's interesting because all these people follow us on TikTok. But I don't even know that they realize that they follow us, and that's why they're seeing our comment first.
Yeah.
But
I'm sure they know they
right, but you made this comment in not a really mean way. It was kind of, I guess some people can take it as like, oh, she just
it's
doesn't
hard to
get
hear
the
tone,
joke. Right?
And when you're reading a comment, you don't know the tone. I wasn't being a snarky tone. I was actually laughing when I saw the TikTok,
right.
But I was like, that was nice gesture, but they're ladies, not girls.
Yeah,
that's all I said.
Right, that's all you said, and it's because it's so hard. I think as women, we're trying to get the respect we deserve in the workplace. Okay, and we've been fighting for this for a while.
Exactly.
And I honestly feel that in the workplace, I mean, it opens up a whole other conversation because it's a joke and we get the joke and haha, it's funny and we're not really taking it that serious. I make jokes
about syncing all the time. I say about you when you girls get to their periods, you're going to be syncing all together and living.
Yeah. And I mean, some could even go to argue like, oh, it's not PC. It's a joke about periods. Like, okay, we're always on the page of like...
I didn't even say it about that.
We're always right. We're always on the same page of like everything is full go for like joking, right?
Mm-hmm.
But then I think there's also a place to where you should be make people aware that, hey, we need to like respect each other in the workplace. So I get that there's part of that conversation in there too. But everybody's jumping to conclusions and getting off.
Saying that I was being sensitive. But I feel they're being sensitive about my comment.
Right. So it's such a crazy fucking thing because it's so crazy, right? So people are upset that you're upset about. So they're complaining about you complaining. So it's like a never-ending circle. Like, I have to stop myself on comments when I'm looking through videos sometimes because I'm like, what's the point? What's the point? It's like I'm yelling into the fucking abyss of a universe sometimes. And then people like flip out like this and make it a bigger deal than it is.
I know. The comment was, "This is an awesome gesture, but they are ladies, not girls."
Right.
Maybe if I had put a little emoji happy face, they would have seen that it wasn't in a
whatever.
mean tone,
Everybody takes.
So then somebody's like, "Oh my God, there's always got to be that person." And then someone replies, "It really is. She was high and got too far into her feelings.
We does that to a lot of people." Oh my God. He brought food, and at this point, that's all that matters. Yeah, fuck respecting the bitches that work for him.
And then somebody's like, "They are girls." I don't know what the ratio comment is, but they are girls. And then OMG, no one cares but you.
Oh, maybe the ratio comment is like, oh, because there's more of them than of him.
I don't know.
And
then
somebody's
really,
like,
you're that sensitive,
right?
So it's like,
and then somebody puts, "Laughing my ass off. No one cares but you."
Yeah.
And then she's the one that circled back. So I put, "Tune into our podcast Wednesday. We'll be talking all about these comments." And then this chick is like, "Why? Because you didn't agree with you?" She didn't even double check that sentence. "Why? Because we don't agree with you?" No, she did. Oh, did she just fix that? That was weird. "Why? Because we don't agree with you?" Childish. If bringing me and the others that didn't agree with you down makes you feel better, go for it. We're not going to
blast your username.
And we're not going to blast your username.
No, we're just elaborating, because you can't really elaborate going back and forth on comments.
Especially on TikTok, and people get stuck into that.
And I guess we could do a reaction video or whatever, but it doesn't let us do it on comments from other videos.
Right, they would have to comment on our video.
Yeah.
Which but at the same time, can see because they follow us.
No ill will. I was just simply stating that they're not girls, they're ladies. And if it was the other way and the ladies were calling a men boys, then it would be like, no, we're men. And then it wouldn't be a big deal.
Try to call your boss a boy at work and see what happens.
Yeah,
okay?
Exactly.
Okay, girl.
Try calling one of the guys at work a boy.
And that's, I mean, and again, I go back to what I've said in other podcasts where it's like. I guess
it's because I'm HR and I'm just like, I try to be, respectful to people.
I get you, but it's also like, it's a respect issue, especially for women, bro, especially in the workplace.
And these are all women coming at me.
And they're all women. It's crazy. And they're all women back like, oh, it's just a joke. We're like, we're like advocating for women. It's like a weird circle. And it's like, and you can't go back and forth in the comments because it's pointless.
Exactly.
And they don't see the bigger picture. It's just the 15 seconds or 8 seconds of whatever fucking TikTok. And that's the problem with some of these people is they judge you based on a comment you made on a TikTok or based on a TikTok you made.
Yeah.
And like, we'll touch base again with cancel culture. Like, I agree. If you do not like the way someone behaves, then you have the fucking right to stop following them.
Yeah. Don't buy their merchandise.
Don't follow them. Don't follow them. Don't be into them.
Yeah, that's it.
Okay? But don't continue to follow them and continue to talk shit and look for ways to like to hate. Like, just stop following.
I can't believe they tried to cancel Eminem.
Oh, so then you said that. I don't know what I mean. Okay, so I bleached my hair, and it was so funny because Captain Jane was like, "Oh, at first glance, I saw your picture real quick in the corner, and I thought you were Eminem."
Slim Shady days.
Yeah, I mean, my hair is. I think the developer I used was not. I'm never using that developer again. But my hair is like
super blonde
for air. It's like crazy blonde. But I think we're gonna go turquoise blue. We are gonna put some color in it, so we could tone this down. Because I'm not the real Slim Shady.
Please stand up.
No, I'm not. I won't stand up. I'm not the real Slim Shady. So, anyways,
the real Sunny D.
I'm the real Sunny D. That's right. So, a few things. We got a couple of events coming up. 420 Fest. If you don't know, now you know. In Sarasota, it's going to be April 24th in the Sarasota Fairgrounds. Yeah, I know. If you're not tired,
you're listening every week. Maybe
if you're one of the girls who got upset about our girls' comments.
One of the girls.
And you want to meet us in person and you want to duke it out over some TikTok comment. Want to go beat us up. this is the place to find us
Well,
and beat us up.
I wouldn't get offended of another girl calling me a girl, but for some reason, from a man, it's demeaning. It's like
I know,
condescending, like you said.
It's condescending, and it's their boss, and we didn't mean for it to sound melodramatic.
Yeah, I thought it was a funny TikTok.
I thought
it was funny.
It was funny. It was
I'm pretty sure I liked it too.
It was funny, but it wasn't like
whatever.
hilarious.
We should just move on.
And period jokes. Oh, because we can't stop. We love period jokes. Anyways,
I do love to eat when I'm on my period, though.
I don't have to be on my period to eat. Okay, I'll eat. I love eating. Period. That's why yeah. Period. Other event we have coming up, High Five, on March 19th. It will be St. Patty's theme. We're working out the details for that right now. We had a very successful first virtual game show. It's really fun. Hope you guys could check this one out. So we will keep you posted, and we'll keep making those announcements on our Instagram page and whatnot. And yeah, stay tuned for that. But in the meantime, your favorite news, it's the news nugs. You heard it here, probably second or third.
For sure.
Definitely not first.
So, New Jersey governor signs marijuana legalization bills. Democratic Governor Phil Murphy of New Jersey signed legislation on Monday to implement the legalization of marijuana for use by adults and establish a commercial cannabis market in the state. The signing of the three bills by Murphy comes more than 3 months after voters approved a legislation on their ballot initiative in the November general election. New Jersey's broken, indefensible marijuana laws, which permanently stained the records of many residents and short-circuited their futures, disproportionately hurt communities colored and failed the meaning of justice at every level, social or otherwise, was said by Murphy in a press conference. In their place are laws that will usher in a new industry based on equity, which will reinvest dollars into communities, laws which promote both public health by promoting safe cannabis products and public safety by allowing law enforcement to focus their resources on serious crimes, said the governor.
3 separate bills were signed by Murphy on Monday. One removes all criminal penalties for possession of up to 6 ounces of marijuana and up to 170 grams of hashish by adults 21 and older. The measure also decriminalizes the transfer of up to 1 ounce of marijuana between adults and reduces penalties for the distribution of larger amounts of cannabis. Another bill regulates the commercial production and sale of cannabis, allowing adults 21 and over to purchase up to 1 ounce of marijuana at licensed dispensaries. The bill also enacts a sales tax on cannabis purchases, with 70% of funds raised dedicated to investment in low-income communities. The third measure, signed by Murphy, enacts a series of written warnings to be issued to people under the age of 21 caught possessing marijuana, rather than the imposition of civil or criminal penalties. Young people with 3 or more offenses for underage cannabis possession could also be sentenced to community service. The bill also includes provisions to prevent law enforcement from searching young people solely based on the smell of marijuana. The bills, had this happened back when you were in Butts County.
Jeez.
The bills finally codify the will of the people as reflected in the November passage of Question 1, a measure to legalize cannabis in general terms that received nearly 70% of the vote. Drafting the New Jersey was like, fuck. Not only were they like, yes.
They were like, fuck yes.
Drafting the details of the legislation were bogged down over issues including social equity, commercial regulation, and Murphy's insistence that young people face consequences for underage possession of marijuana. That seems pretty reasonable also.
Home grows not allowed. Notably absent from the legalization measures are provisions that would allow for growing personal amounts of cannabis at home, not even by medical marijuana patients.
That's
So we're going to go with the bills I just signed. We'll leave it at that, Murphy said to a question about home cultivation. I appreciate the folks who have reached out on that front, but we're going to go with what we've got.
Yeah, I think they're going little by little because I think once that's allowed.
Keep fighting.
Everybody gets a little nervous, so they're like, we're going to do a little bit right now and then, see how that goes.
Yeah, because, they can't make too much money if you're growing it yourself at home.
I know, but that's fucked up
Yeah.
too.
Yeah.
So that's definitely stuff that we've got to continue to keep in mind when we're fighting for this legislation, you know?
Yes.
It's not fair. That's also another way corporations can, you know, get their hands on that.
Yeah. I mean, if they can't make money off of it, they're not going to want to legalize it. So let's just get them to legalize it, and then we'll keep fighting for our right to grow it. That's how I feel.
Yeah. If we can write a bill and include it, I feel
of course. It'd be
differently.
great if you could get it off the bat, but if it's going to keep it from getting passed, I don't think you should not pass it. Because in the end, people are still getting arrested for it. People are still getting their lives ruined because of it. We need to just stop that already.
Yes, ma'am. And everybody is so happy because we got this next.
I love you, Miami!
Patients flock to Florida's medical marijuana program, driving surge in job growth. So we found this on Marijuana Moments. I actually was working on some, a post about the job creation. The medical marijuana market in Florida created nearly 15,000 new jobs in 2020 and employs an estimated 31,444 state residents, according to a new analysis.
Wow.
Florida recorded nearly $1.23 billion in marijuana sales in 2020, according to the report posted by Leafly and Whitney Economics. That's why I'm always like, oye, suelta los chavos. I know they're making big bucks, bro.
Yeah, for real.
Florida sales were more than every state except California and Colorado, where marijuana is legal for adults. Wow.
That's crazy.
Yep. Medical marijuana patient registration surged in Florida last year. I wonder why. With 170,000. Oh, it was just because of this podcast. In Florida last year, with 170,000 new patients in 2020, according to the State Office of Medical Marijuana Use.
OMMU, they call it.
Oh, mine's is up. I got to renew mine soon.
Already?
Yeah.
Damn.
They sent me my little email.
Time fast,
Yeah.
man. So as of the February 12th update, 485,693 state residents are qualified patients who can receive prescriptions from 2,644 licensed physicians to purchase marijuana at 313 dispensaries statewide. Woo! Talk about that growth. That growth is expected to continue, with sales projected to top $6 billion in annual sales by 2030 in Florida. But Leafly and Whitney Economics said the state would recoup a far greater benefit if it legalized marijuana for adults and or did away with its cumbersome and possibly unconstitutional regulatory scheme.
Duh.
The vertical integration.
All of it.
With a state population of nearly 22 million Floridians, Florida could reasonably double its current total of cannabis jobs if it chose to legalize for all adults, said the report. If any of the several 2021 legalization bills are adopted, Leafly and Whitney Economics projects Florida's marijuana market would boom to $2.1 billion in sales and generate $800 million in state and local taxes while employing more than 60,000.
Yep.
So what are we waiting for?
Oh my God! Let's
do this.
There's some bills are
Here.
being
These are the bills.
presented. House Bill 343, filed by Carlos Guillermo Smith from Orlando. It would legalize marijuana for adults 21 up and establish a robust and free market regulatory approach. Assigned to 4 committees, House Bill 343 has not been heard. Senate companion, Senate Bill 710, filed by Senator Jeff Brandeis from St. Petersburg, faces a similar four committee slog and has not been heard. Florida law requires OMMU to issue medical marijuana licenses, limited to 22 with only 15 issued, to corporations that are vertically integrated, meaning they must handle the product from seed to sale. We've talked about how problematic this is in the past, and even there's a whole... Hassan Minaj does a whole report on how effed up this is. A Tallahassee appellate court ruled in July the system was unconstitutional. The case will be heard by the Florida Supreme Court March 1st. Lawmakers, however, don't want to wait for the court ruling and have filed bills seeking to expand opportunities for small businesses.
Among them are Senate Bill 562 and Senate Bill 564 by Senator Perry Thurston from Fort Lauderdale, and House Bill 593 and House Bill 595 by Representative Angie Nixon from Jacksonville. Senate Bill 562 and House Bill 593 would prohibit retailers from producing their own products, which they are required to do under the state's vertical integration scheme. Senate Bill 564 and House Bill 595 would require OMMU to impose initial application and biannual renewal fees for licensing of marijuana retail facilities, boosting state coffers, and potentially by hundreds of millions. None has been heard before assigned committees. What is certain to be heard is an unfiled bill seeking to cap THC content, of course.
Again.
Otra vez. Senate President Wilton Simpson from Tripoli said this week it's certainly on the table. Oh, God, again?
Yeah, it's that fuck shit. It's that FS. Former House Speaker Jose Oliva from Miami,
yeah,
said last year THC should be capped because European super strains entering U.S. markets produce schizophrenic results, especially in young developing brains. Proposals to cap THC at 10% drew protests by veterans group and was opposed by influential Republicans, including Brandeis. An attempt to cap THC at 10% for patients under 21 years old failed. Discussion about THC caps emerged after Dr. Bertha Madras, a Harvard University...
We talked about her in our podcast when that happened, when she came and talked to the committees.
A psychobiologist and anti-cannabis activist addressed the House Health and Human Services Committee for the fourth consecutive sessions on the danger of high-potency marijuana. I'm not sure if I should start running for the hills, Smith quipped afterwards, or start running for a dispensary to relieve my anxiety.
Yeah, because she starts talking about how dangerous it is and all that.
Oh, Lord.
Yeah, I think it was in our first season when we talked about her, what she said at the committee
about
hearing.
the high THC.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. But that's a lot going on here. Hopefully one of those bills maybe come through, or maybe we get it on the ballot for the next election.
Yeah,
we'll see.
Definitely. We'll keep you posted on all of that stuff. Right now, we got a really, really fun interview with our buddy cannabis coach, Bradley King. I'm sure all of you guys follow him. We all love him very much. We had him on a show a while back ago, and he's back. He just moved to Georgia from California. So he just moved from a recreational state to a completely illegal state. So we talked to him about that. And we hope you enjoy this interview. Brad here, he was living out in California, and a lot of you know him. A lot of you follow up with him. So you know he was making a big move to Georgia. And so now we're going to talk to him about his move to Georgia. And he's so much closer to us now that we are definitely going to plan to meet up sometime soon. And trust me, we know the places to go around here, so we'll let you know where to go.
And I'll be going up to Georgia too. I have brothers and cousins that live out there, so I visit there time to time. So whenever I'm in that area, I'm going to hit you up.
Oh my gosh, please do! I'm so excited. I'm really excited to be on this side of the United States.
Yeah, change
so
is
different.
I thrive on change. I really enjoy change. I get bored real easily. Do you like change?
Girl, you've lived here your whole life.
Yeah, well, I'm talking about in other things, okay? I cannot get out of here for the life of me. I'm stuck in Florida for a long time, even though lately I'm like, get me to Canada. Get me to Canada.
Oh, my God, Canada looks
I'm telling you. There's something about Canada, right? Mm-hmm. But no, it's like, it's totally, it's different over here. And I am kind of the same way where like I thrive off of like just doing different things than what I'm used to. I like walking out of my comfort zone. You know, it's like, it's really scary, but I do like that feeling of like being somewhere new and pushing myself to do like the most, again, with something like just so fresh, you know, and I like walking into environments where people don't know me. They don't know me by my social media. They don't know really much about me out here yet, you know? So it's been a interesting change, and I'm excited to just like continue to blossom, to be honest with you.
How's your son really handling the change? How's he handling
He's loving it. He's surprisingly, For 11 years old, he is just down for an adventure. He just wants to kind of do whatever we want to do, but like not in like a bad way. Like he knows he has, a choice and a say in everything. And when we approached him about moving, we were very open about like, is this even something you want to try, or do you really like it over here in California? Because he's all about that beach life, and he loved going down to the ocean just as much as possible. And but he was very open to just like, if that's what dads want to do, like I'll do it too. He's very comfortable, I think, with us making decisions, because he knows that nothing will change. Like the love will stay the same. It's just going to be an environment change.
Yeah, just different setting.
Yeah, and he's kept that mindset. He's been having kind of a difficult time the last couple days, specifically because he's been missing friends.
Yeah,
so we
hard.
got very lucky yesterday though, because we have a playground here in our community. And there was a ton of kids playing yesterday, wearing masks. Everyone was being safe. Not a ton of kids. Let me rephrase. Probably like 6. So
that feels like a ton when you've been quarantined.
We let him go down, and he got to meet some new kids, and they played social distance wise, but like he got to finally like have that interaction. So today specifically, it's been better.
That's good.
It's just been nice.
That's good. I know my son is dying for that social interaction with other kids, because he's an only child. He's only home with us. He's doing virtual school. So he definitely misses that interaction with other kids. He's ready to go back to school. Are you guys going to do public school there? Are you going to do virtual school?
I think what we want to do for the rest of the year is just virtual. And then we did debate on getting him into a school down here, but I'm like, it's a brand new curriculum. There's like 3-4 months left in the year. I just feel like I tried to do all that I could, obviously, to like not have that happen. And his school in California worked with us very amazingly. So yeah, he's doing virtual 5 days a week now. So hopefully, if things are kind of going smooth, we'll say junior high, he'll hop in, which is crazy. I can't believe he's almost done with 5th grade already. Like that's just.
He's in 5th grade now, so next year would be junior high, 6th grade.
Yeah.
OMG.
5th grade already.
I think that in Georgia, I don't know. When I was a kid, I remember when we moved up to Georgia, because I lived in Georgia when I was a kid, between Florida and Georgia a lot. And I was actually supposed to be starting 6th grade, and I was so excited to finally be going to middle school. But then my mom decided to move back to Georgia, and the school that we got enrolled in was actually an elementary school that went to 6th grade. So I didn't get to advance. So I was very annoyed by that. So maybe you'll be able to find elementary school.
Right. That's so funny. Yeah, it's good. We're happy that we're able to do it like that for now. But yeah, I think, I am one of those parents that I do believe that he should go back at some point. If we're able to kind of do it in a safe way, at least, that's always my biggest concern, obviously, is his safety. And if we can find a school that will do it the right way, that I feel comfortable with, I think he should definitely go back, because he does need that. It's been a hard year without it.
Yes. But
it really has.
The biggest change has to be definitely that you're in a non-legal state now, right? How's that been?
I know. Like when you said that, I think the first reaction of all of us was, "Oh, well, what are we gonna do now?
He's going to Georgia.
Yeah, what do we? Of
all places?
It's like, now what is he gonna do? It's like, oh, what are we gonna do?
Right? No, it's so like they it's so funny the reactions I got, because you literally come from Arizona, which was medical, and then California, which is just like recreational, like capital of the world. It's like you can smoke weed anywhere in California. Like you can offer it to a cop and they're just like, man, like I'm good. It's like, okay. Like there's just no limits there. It's very different.
Yeah.
So, I make a lot of comedy jokes, and I make a lot of skits about like, getting a plug down here, blah, 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 blah. But on a very serious note, I'm also a really big believer, because I think it does have a lot to do with my son's past. But for those of you that aren't familiar, we adopted our son when he was 5 years old, but he came into our lives when he was 4. And so we became his foster parents. And, he went through a very traumatic past with his biological family, with drugs and a lot of things. And granted, it was a lot harder drugs than cannabis. It was definitely crazier things going on that caused that to happen. But, when we made the decision to move down here, that was obviously like my biggest fear is like, okay, one, what am I going to do about my medicine? But two, how do I want to go about this? You know, because it is an illegal state, because stuff can technically happen if I'm not safe. And it is that fear of what he's gone through already, I think, that is causing me to just, you know, to do it the 100% legal way, just to be real. You know, I've been really fortunate lately. So we've been out here for a little over 3 weeks now. So I've been fortunate lately to find something that works for me. But first moving out here, holy crap, was that an adjustment? You know, I smoked basically like my last few bowls over there in California, and I was like, okay, you know, I try to be that person that's like, we're gonna go out there and we're just gonna have the CBD flower, right? Ooh, let me tell you.
Yeah, I bet. Tell me.
Involuntary tolerance break, basically.
It's basically, but I told myself, I was like, I just have to do it, like, because I didn't. It was just fear, right? Fear of traveling with it.
Yeah,
of, like,
crossing state lines, that's risky.
Right? It gets nerve wracking. So I'm just like, okay, you know what? I'm just gonna go down there and not do it, and you know, so basically the whole, you know, trip going down, it was just, you know, hemp flower, and I get down here and I just was kind of dabbling with that. I really wasn't using too much besides my tinctures in the morning, which I'm a big believer in, and that really does still help me out with my panic disorder, and it helps me to get leveled. But when you're not throwing in cannabis and, you know, or I'm sorry, when you're not throwing in THC, it's different, and it really does change. It's crazy coming from you can get high every day kind of as much as you want to like, now I'm limiting myself, you know. And I was weaning myself off a little bit before we moved, but let's be real here, I was about to leave California, so I didn't wean myself off too much, you know. But I was like, okay, I need to like try to do the best that I can, you know. And it's been a struggle. The first couple weeks I experienced a lot of anxiety again, a lot of emotions that I haven't felt in a while, just with stress and creating big things out of little things, you know, with finances and, you know, oh, we have to get the cars registered. I totally forgot about that, you know, and just like creating all sorts of things in my head, you know, and just making them these huge deals like I do because of my mental health. And luckily, though, to kind of, you know, bring a positive note on it, I did use, I think, the last few weeks to allow myself to feel all that again. I don't think that cannabis makes you numb per se, but I think sometimes when I go through really hard things, sometimes it's really easy for me to talk about it and deal with it. But sometimes, you know, I can find myself over medicating to deal with it a little bit easier. So I think it's kind of healthy sometimes to also take those tolerance breaks, not just so we're not consuming as much, but also for our minds to just kind of
reset.
Reset and let that fog kind of clear up a little bit, you know. And I'm not saying I live in this foggy world, but just like, you know, it just to clear it up in there, you know. And I felt a little more like, okay, like I was seeing things a little differently and I was feeling things differently, but it was good. It was healthy. It was good for me to cry in certain moments that I needed to, instead of like running to a joint and me realizing like, oh, maybe I was using that as a coping mechanism too much, you know. And it's been a learning experience. And just recently, this last week or so, I've been trying a couple different things in regards to Delta 8, which is that's different.
Lifesaver right now. It is very different.
Sure, too.
It is crazy though, like how different it is. Because you just don't expect to get what you get out of it, you know. So I tried some gummies. It went over kind of well, but I've always been kind of hit or miss with edibles. Like I have to have quite a bit of milligrams for me to feel anything with edibles. So, you know, I only took about 150 milligrams of Delta 8 gummies. I kind of felt something for like probably a good like 30 minutes where I was like, whoa. But then it always just goes away really quick for me, you know. It's always how it is. It's like real quick and then it's like, okay, bye. You know. So but then a friend of mine was like, are you not vaping yet? Are you not vaping Delta 8? And I was like, no, because I've always, ever since everything just happened, right? Like just a few years ago in the vaping world, it's been very hit or miss with like what I'm willing to try.
Right.
Like I really got to know the brand and company, and I got to do my research, like a lot of research to trust it. but I was like, okay, I should try it. And there's a smoke shop really close to me, where I'm currently at, and we went up there, and I found a vape, and I was like, all right, let's see how this is. So I ended up doing my research, and it had like really good reviews, and I cannot find the packaging. I'll have to show you later because I know people are going to want me to recommend it. And I need to start recommending it
they're gonna want to
anyways.
know which one it is.
Yes, I'll get it here in just a minute. But it's totally like doing the trick. And I got a sativa. Okay, now I have to get it. Hold on. I have to show it to everybody, obviously. Where is it? Okay. Anyways, but it's a sativa Delta 8, and it's totally working. And I'm thoroughly impressed with it. And I never thought, to be honest with you guys, of course,
That Delta 8 would be able to do the trick.
Yes. So I'm gonna give you the brand later, okay? And we'll post it or something.
Yeah,
I can't find it right now. But yeah, it's totally doing the trick, and it's helping me out a lot, and it's giving me that little, boost that I'm needing. And I'm actually mixing it with CBD as well, and it's just working like a charm. So I'm feeling pretty good about it so far. Not complaining too much. And so I'm like, you know what, if I can just use that for now, continue to find what works for me and, kind of dabble in those products. I want to continue to advocate down here to just make it legal in general.
Yes. Have you already started looking? I mean, you've only been there 3 weeks, but have you looked to like see if there's any like local normal chapters or something like that you could get involved in?
Yeah, there's at least, I found at least 2 or 3 different groups. One of them, it seems like they are pretty involved. I feel like I should have had all this written down, but yeah, one of the groups that I found looks like they're pretty involved too. So I'll make sure to like give you all the info, and I'll post about it too whenever I start getting more involved with them. But yeah, I think there's a lot that can be done down here. I think ultimately it sounds like they just need a lot of voices. They need a lot of like people to maybe like sign petitions, stuff like that. So I'm hoping I can use my platforms to try and do the best that I can to get tons of signatures for things, and hopefully get things not passed, but maybe at least looked at because of that, and try to get other people to gang up with me. And I don't know, there's just a lot I think that can be done nowadays, especially with social media and the influence
Definitely.
of people with a platform. So
Get it on the ballot in Georgia.
yes, right. Like I'm just excited to do that.
I think people in Georgia too are excited for change because
they're blue now.
Yeah, things have been moving in a really good direction. So I don't know. Hopefully,
who knows?
that'll be great.
Maybe the federal government will beat Georgia to the punch.
Yeah.
What do you think about
Hopefully.
that? With all these rumors that possibly federal
Within a year?
legalization
I say within
may be
2
coming.
years. She says within 1.
I say within
think
the year they may
2.
pass it, but it's going to take a couple years before it's actually like implemented and regulated, and but I think it's going to come and get passed soon because I feel
think-
like they
I
say
think
they're
within
pushing for it.
I'm hoping a year, but I would agree probably about 2 because of just some of these states, how much they're going to push, like there's just going to be a lot of hoops that I can just see that, like I could see an owner down here trying to open up a dispensary and it just being like a pain in the ass. Like if we're just being totally honest, like I think it's just going to take a lot for stuff, I think, to get started and implemented and laws and, so I'm hoping though that they can see the examples of the other states. And it's like, okay, I get that, when it comes to like medications and it comes to, the big man, right? Like they don't want to take money out of the pharmaceutical companies for the pills. And like, I get all that, but like, I'm hoping they can look at the examples of the financial gains that these states have gone through. Like,
And the jobs
really,
it creates
my
lots of
God.
jobs.
Yeah, and just
It's
even
unreal.
I mean,
using
Republicans,
funds for
all these
schools.
people are about making jobs, right? Cannabis industry has given lots of jobs.
Yeah, especially during the pandemic, I feel like cannabis has continued to give people jobs and
yeah, it's amazing, honestly. And just, what it does just for, Colorado, it's really turned that state around a lot financially, and it's helped them rebuild a lot. It's helped them, pay their teachers more. Like there's just a lot of amazing things it's happening over there because of that. California, I don't know. They like, I don't know where they throw their
But
money. So it
California's
doesn't-
been at it for a really long time. Like I remember for the longest seeing specials on like places getting raided by the DEA, and then people going, "Well, how are you guys sending the DEA over here when it's like legal within the state?" Like it was like a whole battle that was going on.
Yeah, Cali's had it hard for a long time, and it's been medical for like years and years there. I can't exactly remember but it's been, quite a few years. So, but I don't know. I don't think they're like the best example with what they do with their money, to be honest. There's a lot of places in California, it's just like their highways aren't the best. There's so much that it's like, where does the money go to? Like, I get we live by the beach, but like, what does this money go to? Like, really? It's just, there's so much with California that doesn't make sense. And, people, they always want to move down there because of the industry, but I'm like, you gotta understand that's all you're getting down there is just an open industry. Like the cost of living is insane. The hospitality really is not the best. And to be honest with you, it's because people are kind of cutthroat down there because they kind of have to be to pay their bills. Like it's that kind of living. Like everybody down there that has a job has a side hustle.
Yep.
If not a side hustle, they got 2 side hustles. Like it's just, that's how you live down there, and everybody lives with their families and everyone's trying to make it. And it's hard. It's a crazy state. And especially with everything with the governor, doing some of the things that he's done and creating some of those laws that he's created, it's just really, it's made it sickening to live there. And the fact that like some of my money goes into that man's pocket just drives me mad. I'm not the one to get into politics, nor do I want to talk about it, but it is just that kind of feeling of a state, so even though it wasn't legal out here, and like I did get really nervous, like we were just ready to get out of there, like that was just, it was not the vibe for us anymore.
Damn,
like,
and I always wanted to live in Cali just because the scenery. It's just so beautiful out there.
Yeah,
being able to be on the beach, even though you can't go in the water, it's too cold, but being able to go from the ocean to the mountains to the desert to like everything. I always thought California was so interesting because of that. We live in a state that's very flat, and just we got great beaches, that's for sure.
Yeah, our beaches
and we
are
got the
shit.
Everglades, but we don't have gorgeous mountains and a cool desert.
I know. Mountains are pretty. I would say like the next place I go to, I would definitely need to be able to look at a mountain or two.
Let's go to Colorado.
There's nothing like people. You love the beach, and yeah, the beach is great. But I mean, I don't know. There's something so majestic about a mountain. I want to like just step outside my house and just see a mountain. I don't know.
I kind of agree. I think the beach is really built up in people's heads, but like after you go like I don't know, like 20 times, you're just kind of like, okay.
Yeah.
You don't go as much as you think you will. Like
Right.
our last month of living in Cali, like I told Tom, I was like, I'm going to the beach at least twice a week. And then like the second week, I haven't gone yet. And I'm like, okay, just once a week. And then like, just in the last few days, like, I'm like, I really want to go.
And then you're like, I'll come back here sometime again.
It's always such a trek to go to the
Yeah.
beach because you got to pack a bunch of
It
shit,
is.
then drag a bunch of shit, then set up a bunch of shit. Then you get
And
to
it's
hang out for a while
cold.
and it's cool. But then you got to pack up all the shit, drag the shit back, all that
Yeah.
all over
No,
again.
but wait till the beaches here are.
But I love the beach.
Yeah, the
I-
beaches here.
I'm
You're gonna
obsessed
like that
with the
shit.
beach.
It's,
If you know
it's
me-
not cold, so you'll be able to get in and hang out.
You spend the whole day
bring
there.
a drink in, chill in the sandbar.
That's what I need.
When I go
I
to
need
the
that warm
beach,
beach life.
I'm literally there all day.
I'm so just scared of like all the animals in the ocean that I just get freaked out by anything.
See, I grew up on the ocean.
same
Like
way.
my dad has a boat, so we always went out on the ocean all the time. So, yeah, I know. I respect it. I know it's there, but I'm not afraid of it.
Yeah.
I'm a chicken
Yeah, it's-
shit, so
It's I don't know, it's cool. I liked living out there a lot, and I really liked living by the beach, but I don't
Now
know,
you have
it
the
was-
forest.
right, and like seriously, I paid a
Atlanta is
fraction of the
so
cost.
cool. I love to go
crazy.
to Atlanta. I travel. We've traveled to Georgia a couple times, even to just go see music.
Don't go
out
to
there.
Butts County.
Yeah.
God, Butts.
Don't go to Butts County.
Don't go to Butts County. Let me tell you,
I'm intrigued. I want to go.
don't. We were driving to Bonnaroo.
Usually you would want to go to Butts County, but not this Butts County.
Not
It
this
would be a
Butts County.
place called literally Butts County that would do this to us. We were driving to Bonnaroo in an RV. Bonnaroo's in Tennessee, so you have to go through Georgia to get there. and we got pulled over by cops in going through Butts County police, just because they knew that we were where we're going. And they
hashtag Butts County.
And they did an illegal search of our RV and like took all of our stuff out, handcuffed the guys. It was a whole ordeal. They found our weed. Everybody got tickets to appear in court. It was awful.
Goodness. That sounds insane. No, I'm hoping
on the upside though, did you guys get to go to your concert?
Yeah, we made it there. And they didn't find all of our weed.
Exactly. Exactly. Good. Did you get to do drugs at said concert? Okay.
No, once we got there, we got the best welcome from like a hippie that arrived and sold us these beautiful shroom chocolates. And it was like, okay, all that never happened.
Right.
Everything's happy again.
Like, we were handcuffed illegally.
And then
they let us go and we went to a concert and did drugs.
You got drugs. I love it. I miss those days sometimes.
Early 20s. We were so young.
I know. I want to go to a concert so bad. We went to a concert in our living room.
I miss it. Oh, did you really?
Yeah. My husband loves 311. Have you ever heard of 311?
Yes.
He loves 311. He's like their biggest fan, I swear. And so for his birthday, his boss got him like a series of like tickets for like online concerts, right? Mm-hmm. Whatever, super cute. And then they had like each day that they played, it was a different album. And I mean, it was cool. It's like, but you know, you're there and it's great because you're in your living room. It's cool. But then it's like, oh my God, I miss going to like an outdoor festival and hearing music.
Right. I miss it so much. Yeah. I know. It's been hard. You know, like we're kind of like an EDM family. So we like to just jam to like techno and just like have such a good time. And Zane was kind of getting to that age where like we weren't going to take him to like, you know, any big crazy shows or anything like that.
No, but a fun rave, kids rave or something.
Right. Start like venturing out a little bit and it's like seeing what music festivals we could take him to, stuff like that. But
that's fun.
Obviously, you know, things have changed. But
have you seen the ones where they've done in like the car? They've done like raves,
drive-in.
I want to do
drive-in.
Where are those?
I know, where are those?
I see them on TikTok, and I'm like, why isn't this happening in my hood?
A drive-in concert that would be fucking cool, and we get to like out your sunroof. We get to party in the car. Fuck yeah!
They give you like a little area next to your car.
Yes.
And then you and your little party, you just have your little party, your social distance party.
Amazing.
And you could like from far away connect with other people.
Hey. Let's see if we can find one in the future and make a date to go to the concert.
Oh my God, please.
Maybe there could be one.
Anyone out there, please do one. Like
if you know one, tell us about it.
Yes, in Georgia or Florida.
Georgia, Florida area.
Well, let me tell you, a lot of big acts go to Georgia because they're not willing to come over here to Florida to kind of have.
It's kind of far out of the way.
Meet them. We've done that. We've seen a couple bands out there, which I don't know. I really do like Atlanta a lot. I feel like Southern hospitality for real lives out there. Mm-hmm. I love that.
It's crazy out here. So you know we're not really sharing where we're living exactly, but we're up north of Atlanta, so we're about like 15 miles north.
Okay.
And it's so different. And that hospitality, that Southern hospitality is real. Like it is, every store you walk into, it's still very much in the yes ma'am and yes sir mentality, which is so different because you come from California where like you can't say that anymore, you know, because of everything that's going on with just genders, and that's totally okay. And that's part of how it is over there. So it's very different coming over here and that constant yes, sir, and yes, ma'am vibe. And also too, but everybody's just so, thank you so much. And it's not just you're welcome. It's like, you're very welcome.
And they're like, and they seem happy to see you. Yes. Like, I'm sorry. Here,
every store you go into, the cashiers are amazing. Like, they're just like, did you find everything? Do you feel okay with your purchases? And I'm just yes.
Let me ask you a question, Bradley, because I would assume that California has kind of the similar pretentiousness as like here, Miami. Mm-hmm. I would say probably more Miami Central. Mm-hmm. Would you feel that you have been kind of hardened into a place where people come at you so friendly and with such good manners that you're kind of like weirded out because you're like, oh, hello, good afternoon. How's it going?
What do you want?
It's weird, right? It's like
I think
we mistake it as like, oh, they're being weird. They're not being weird. They're being nice, and you're not used to people being nice, right?
No, you're so used to like in California, like the drive-through people half the time. Like if you go to like Wendy's per se, like that last person that's handing you the food like won't even tell you if like that's your order. They'll just like hand you the bag and then close the window, and you're just like,
Yeah. That
Is
happens
that
here
it?
too.
and then they'll like open and they're like, I'm sorry. And I'm like, is that it? Yes. And then they'll just close
Yeah,
it.
they'll look at you like, what the fuck do you want? Like, we're done here.
Moving on to the next one.
Yeah,
It's
and
like,
you're just
you can't remember you only ordered one bag. I'm like, I ordered 3 different things. Does it fit in one bag? I don't know. Does it fit in one bag? You didn't tell me if this is my order. Like, but that's how it is down there. And people too, like, there's crazy drivers everywhere. So I don't know. Traffic though, we're realizing is different even. It's just, it's a lot of the vibe. And like you said, it is that like people actually feel like they want to help you down here. And I don't know. I know it's only been a few weeks, but we've been very blessed lately. We haven't felt any sort of like, weirdness because of the fact that we are 2 men with a son and, but we did go down to Atlanta. We went to the Georgia Aquarium.
Oh my God, I
it's
love the Georgia
beautiful.
Aquarium.
Yeah.
Oh my God. If anyone that listens to this, you haven't
Been
been
there, it's
please
amazing.
take your kid because that was the coolest thing.
Very
We
cool.
have a year pass now. Like we're
should
going to
go
take him so
back.
much because it's that freaking cool. But we went out to eat afterwards, and we went to this restaurant, and we got stared at more than we've been stared at in a very, very long time. Like you could
What?
just tell that
In Atlanta?
like you could just tell that we were a little different vibes,
Yeah.
than people were used to, I guess.
Mhm.
And it just kind of reminded us that like, you know what, at the end of the day, you just have to keep doing you, right? And we're very mindful though, and I think that is one thing just at a respect level that you kind of have to do where you live. Like obviously, like if we do want to hold hands, we'll probably hold hands, but we've never really been that kind of couple, just to be honest. We don't really hold hands in public, and like we do sometimes when we're watching movies at night and stuff, but we're very okay with kind of keeping that line in public, and it's just that respect level, and it's just to keep things like chill,
Yeah. But I mean,
it's-
even
but it's
though, like, it's not.
But we're not. The thing is, though, is what I always tell
Do
people.
you
is,
feel
we're
like
not
you-
hiding?
Yeah.
I don't feel like I need to. It's
Okay.
more just like that. Like I just do it. It's a respect level thing.
Do you
but
think
again,
it's a
if, like,
subconscious thing
No, but I
that
think
you guys...
it's just in general for people. Like I'm not, when I go out with my husband too, I'm not like,
we don't hold
We
hands.
don't hold hands. And
Right.
Like, I mean,
Me and my husband
yeah.
rarely hold hands.
Thank you for
especially-
saying that, because it's not just like a gay thing,
It's
right?
not.
It's not just
No,
about
in
being
general-
scared or like.
And then there's some people,
Just
there's some
respect.
couples too. Have you ever been around a couple where they just can't keep their hands off each other, and you're just kind of like,
Whoa.
can you guys, like, do you need ice? Do you need to cool it down over there? Like, have you ever been around
Please
that makes you
relax.
uncomfortable?
Yes, it's
Yeah.
weird.
People
It's
still
like,
do
hold
that?
on, I'm right here though. Why are you doing that?
People really
Stop
do that
it.
still?
People,
I
I mean,
mean,
not recently,
maybe
but God, I
teenagers
remember
in high
being
school.
around.
'Cause,
No,
like, you-
no. I mean,
I have some adult friends that get down, and it's like it's a little much, and I'm like, I'm literally right here. Like I'm gonna go like over there.
yeah.
It's actually
Some people
Yeah,
are
that's
also
weird.
very touchy feely too. Even like with friends, you've noticed some people are like very huggy, very handshaky, and like
Yeah, I
some
mean,
of
there's
us are
some
more
couples
like,
that when
"Hey,
they
so-"
sit together, they're
So-
always like,
yeah, and we're
right.
yeah, and then
Too much. I
Yeah.
know. I feel you.
I'm
Yeah,
also
so
not
it's
a
not
hugger
weird.
too, apparently, either with people. I'm a little standoffish apparently too, because like I want to feel you out, see what kind of vibes, and then we can,
Yeah.
you know what I mean?
yeah.
Yeah. Then we can get close and personal, but
I'm
no,
dying
but I
to
love
take
it out here. The
RV or
South
something.
is really cool. It's totally one of those states where, it's getting used to it all, because even though like I got the Delta 8 and I got, still access to all my CBD stuff, which is really cool. It is very different to not have that cannabis or to that THC to really uplift you the way that you're used to.
Mhm.
It's so different. So I'm hoping, if anybody that listens to this that's down here too in Georgia, please reach out to me and just tell me what I can do. I'm trying, like we're saying, trying to get involved. I'm trying to get connected to people, but it is kind of hard, especially during COVID, right? Because
Right.
a lot of it nowadays is just kind of depending on like, okay, who can I find on social media and who can find me. So I'm hoping that things like start to pan out and we can start making changes sooner than later, you know, because it is so different. And I know that there's like, I think about me just been down here for 3 weeks that's struggling already. So I'm like, I could even imagine people that have been out there their whole lives struggling with it all, you know, and having to do that behind the table like that. And, you know, even where I currently live, I don't have a patio. So it's going back to that whole like smoking in like, you know, confined areas again, which is really different. You know, I'm not even really too comfortable doing it out in my living room when the kid's asleep anymore, because then like I have to open up the windows. Granted, I'm doing Delta 8 and CBD, but it's just like giving off that impression here, and I'm still a little hesitant about because it is Georgia. So
Right.
like I don't want someone looking in and seeing me ripping a bong. But
Yeah.
it's hemp flower, I swear. Like, you know, like I just it's very different. So I'm hoping that things can change soon, and for not just myself, but for the other people that have been dealing with this for way longer, because like they deserve it, you know, they deserve that feeling of like, you know, I'm not saying being able to open up your window and just do what you want, but like that feeling of just not having to hide, you know, that was the really intense part about California. Like we're sitting there moving that last month and I had my garage wide open and we're just smoking in the garage while I'm like moving stuff, and like no one gives two craps there. Like
That's wonderful.
they just drive by and it's like whatever, you know. And because it's like I don't know, it's like California has a mutual understanding, I think, with cannabis. It's like people, granted, everyone has their views, right, and everyone has their negative views, but I do feel like a lot of people are so open to it down there, and they just understand like people do it responsibly. As long as you do it responsibly, people will respect you, and they'll respect your decisions and what you do. And that's how it should be everywhere. It should be that everybody just respects what they got to do for themselves, you know, and
mind
don't
your
judge
business.
and don't.
That's it.
Exactly.
Mind your business.
We're gonna get there.
I mean,
though.
I'm
no,
legally
look, I feel
consuming-
like people say mind your business is like, yes, but like it depends what it is, and this is definitely one of those things where it's like, who cares? Well, like seriously, like yeah, mind your business, you know.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm legally consuming my cannabis because I have my card, but I still get a little like, oh, weird about sitting in the backyard and smoking it and worrying about anybody, like my neighbors smelling it or seeing me.
I've seen your neighbors. You're good, bro.
How about across the street?
Well,
You know what I'm talking about.
oh my god,
But
there's so
yeah,
many.
It's
yeah.
nerve wracking now, even in a medical state, like you said. Like when I was in Arizona too, you know, Arizona passed when I was down there, and it was very interesting to do it, but it was still very frowned upon. You know, like I got pulled over once, and I didn't have anything even. I didn't have any sort of like, you know, I wasn't consuming in my vehicle is what I'm trying to say, but I just bought some fresh product that was in my car, and it was kind of making my car smell. And a cop pulled me over, and he totally like, you know, are you smoking in here? And I'm like, no, sir, I just have some product that's unopened. Well, are you sure? Because it smells like it in here, and son, you know. And he totally was like just belittling me, and you know. So sometimes even living in that medical state, like it is still that kind of, it's nerve wracking because it is still those different views, and it's just like.
But I feel like you know what
I get nervous every time
you
I get
bring up a
at
good
the
point.
dispensary.
Listen, you bring up a good point. The thing is these cops and this system has been thinking this way and has had this on their list of things forever. So
Look at the South Dakota cops, what they did.
It's going to be hard, especially now when things change, for them to adapt to the new laws. Some people aren't good with change. And when you're in those roles, it's kind of difficult because things change. Life changes. How we live, it changes. This is a stigma for years and years and years and years. And they've had to uphold the law.
And it's
strictly.
been their ticket to illegally search people forever. They smell marijuana.
So it's going to be hard to break them out of that habit, man.
What
I'm telling you.
lose. They don't want to lose that. That's why the South Dakota cops had the ballot measure when all the voters voted for medical marijuana,
right, and they were all like,
recreational
"Oh
marijuana.
no, you made a wrong mistake."
And they turned
took
it
it back.
over. They took it back.
Yeah, it's interesting. You know, I know it's And that's what it is, right? It's like it's those mindsets, and it's like because I am one of those people, like, and you guys know as content creators too, like we make content that make people laugh, right? So we'll make like the overconsumption jokes, and we'll talk about how sometimes you take 1,000 milligrams and it makes you feel all crazy and blah blah blah. Do we have those moments taking plant medicine where maybe we do take a little too much? Sometimes we do feel a little extra. Yes, but it's treating it as such as like sometimes we deserve to just kind of let loose like that, right? And that's the beauty of the plant medicine, is like we can use it for the medicinal purposes, but we can also use it in that way to kind of just let loose and have fun a little bit as well. And that's what it is. It's trying to break the stigma so people understand through those comedy videos that like it's not that serious. It's not as serious as we've made it out to be. If you do take 1,000 milligrams one night and you do end up feeling really, really intense, that's okay. If it's too much, you learn, and then you just take what works for you next time,
Take some CBD and bring you down.
It's trying to break all that, and I think it's happening slowly but surely, and like we said, like Georgia, I think is really starting to change their views more and more. There's a lot more advocacy out there nowadays, more than ever, and people, I think, to be honest with you, I think Delta 8 has really opened a door. I'm still very hesitant about Delta 8. I'm also really concerned about how many products have come out recently with Delta 8.
Yeah.
That's a different topic. But I do believe, though, Delta 8 is kind of opening that door where people are now finding that legal way to consume this in a psychoactive manner. And they're realizing the benefits, and they're like, holy crap, if we can get this out of this, imagine having actual access now, So I think it's opening people up. And I'm hoping this is that year. Like we said to the federal, I really hope it's sooner than later, but I hope just with that happening, the fact that it's even being talked on a federal level to that magnitude, I just hope people right now are just being open-minded and just being like, dude, like, stop
It's
making
just
it
a
out to be this
plant.
crazy thing. It's literally, I hate to use that word like too much, but like I more and more have been more comfortable with just using the word weed, because it is just weed.
It is.
I love that
It's a
word.
weed.
I love that
Slang
word.
term. It's a great slang term because it is so like it's very natural to just say like it's just weed, like it's weed, and
Yeah.
and when people can just like kind of look at it like that, like it's not marijuana, it's just weed.
Yeah. Marijuana's such
like
a
it's just weed, and it's
nerdy
like
word.
cool, okay, sweet, and it's like
just weed.
I'm hoping that Georgia can get to that level. I really do. And I hope all the states, because there's other states that are suffering right now and people out there. And when I told everybody I was moving to Georgia, my messages flooded with everybody in non-legal states. And they're just like, do you know what you're doing? Like, hold on.
Do you know what you're getting yourself into?
They're like trying to warn me, like, no, like stop. And I'm like, thank you. Like, and but it's like sad at the same time, because it's like you listen to their stories and what they go through to try and get their medicine, or the parents that are hiding it, or the parents that are just trying to do it the CBD and Delta 8 route but aren't getting the benefits they need. It's intense to hear the stories, when all they want is just that natural stuff, that we just
The weed.
that we don't even look at it in any sort of way, right? Like it's not even a
The
thing to
weed.
us anymore. It's just like, it's cannabis, dude. It's amazing.
It's
It
a
is what
flower
it is.
of
Like,
a plant. Literally.
so I'm hoping.
It's
Hoping
coming.
people
It
get
change is coming. People's
It is.
views are changing. People are more accepting. Look, I'm smoking weed in my dad's backyard. I never thought I'd be doing that. I've been staying at my dad's house for the last couple months because of renovations in my house. You can't see behind us.
Oh
We're
yeah,
still doing
I
renovations.
just walked into her house, Brad. It looks like a brand new house.
That's
As soon as I walked in, I
awesome.
heard that song, or that TikTok song. It's like a brand new beat. I was like,
love it.
wow.
That's awesome.
So
That's
yeah,
exciting. I'm excited to see it.
smoking weed in my parents' backyard. I didn't think that'd ever coming. They're
I know.
accepting of it.
Yeah.
They understand.
Right. And it's amazing. Like my parents don't consume, but they're very, very supportive, and they know what I have to do for me, and they know what my career is. And they know I'm like cannabis coach online, and it's crazy how much like they've adapted. My grandparents know, like the world is changing, so it's just about, again, keeping that open mind, people realizing it is just a plant that grows from the ground that we are literally just turning into medicine, and we're using for different medicinal purposes, and that's all there is to it. And it's just, I like it when people can look at it simply, and they can stop making it such a big thing in their head,
Yeah. And every day we're learning more and more and more about this plant and how it can help in so many different ways. Now there's a Delta 10.
I know, that's what I was going to say.
Have you heard
hear
there's a
about the
Delta 10? Yeah.
I wanted
know.
to pretend like I've heard, but no. Can you please?
I saw.
enlighten
I
me?
have to look it up.
watched
Honestly,
the TikTok. Look, I saw TikTok, and this lady was like, Delta 10 made me
She
when
was
I went. I'm
reviewing
like,
it.
blah, blah, and I was like, Delta 10. Now these people are just straight
Making up
fucking
Delta
making shit up. I'm like, what the fuck is Delta 10?
Next is
You might
Delta
have
12, 13.
Yeah. Ooh, Delta. Have you heard of Delta 15? Like, what? Oh, you guys, please. One at a time.
Delta 7,
Delta 8.
Delta 76.
Yeah,
Delta 69.
I know.
Yeah. What? There's
app.
76.
Yeah. So there's a Delta 10.
There's a Delta
because
10
afterwards
now.
I went, let me Google this shit. Whatever, bitch. I'm like, okay.
That's crazy.
And then
Oh
there's
my
like a
God.
Delta 10 now.
That's crazy. Yeah, there's
Apparently,
all
it's
sorts of
more
stuff, but
energetic and like she enjoyed
it's
it during her
amazing, though,
run.
at the same time, because that
It
was
is
a really cool
amazing.
feeling. To be honest with you, when I was down here and so I called my local smoke shop and they were like, yeah, we have the Delta 8 vapes. And I went down there and again, I looked, and just to be able to like know that it's that close and it's right there, I'm just like, okay, like, whoo. And it
That
actually
works.
like works, and it's nice because when you take such a break from, Delta 9, hold on, am I saying all the deltas right?
Yeah, you're right. Delta 9, you're taking a break from Delta 9.
Yeah, so whenever you take such a break from that, Delta 8 actually really does something. It actually
Yeah, that's
it
true.
got me kind of like, woo. I was like, holy crap. I was like, this is
That makes sense. You
crazy,
haven't been
so-
using THC like Delta
Yeah, Delta 8.
8.
Delta
Now it works.
70.
Yeah.
Now it's like,
Now it's like, whoa.
Well,
woo.
but I feel like you would have to take more. At first, I didn't take that much, and I was like, oh, this is pretty good. And then
Yeah.
I felt like I had to eat more.
You had to up the ante the next
Yeah,
time.
and then now like edibles are very inconsistent now. Period for me.
Yeah.
I hate
Edibles
it.
are, I know. Edibles
never
and I
had
are.
And I would have to take like high milligrams.
It's awful, isn't it? Like when your tolerance starts to change like that. But the reality is like it is what it is. But I still need to consume and medicate. So I got to make it work,
Yeah.
I really do. But it's okay. It's working out. So if anyone down here in Georgia is struggling, looking at Delta 8, you can reach out to me too. I'd be happy to help direct you and guide you and help find routines
And
that
you'll
work
let
for
us-
you because
You'll let us know later that brand that you found that you're like,
Yes.
yeah.
it's somewhere.
Somewhere.
Yes. Absolutely.
And that was cannabis coach Bradley King. You can find him on Instagram as cannabis_coach or Bradley King_ on TikTok. And his website is cclifecoaching.com. We love him. That was a really fun conversation.
I
we
can't
had
wait till we
with
get
him.
together with him.
I know that's gonna be
That's
really
going to be
fun.
so much fun.
Yeah, and I mean Delta 8, man, making strides. Soon
Making it
Delta
happen.
10, maybe
Delta
Delta
10.
76. Who knows how many deltas we're gonna find? There's a whole universe of deltas out there. So we're so glad you've made it so far to this broadcast. I was gonna say broadcast podcast. Thank you so much for hanging out with us. Thank you so much to our sponsors, Yanni Reyes, Destiny Adams, Lauren Hadsel, Jesse Reyes, Christy Rodriguez, and April Collins.
Thank you, thank you, thank
We
you.
appreciate you. Please sign up for our Patreon and
This
get
hits
some
for you.
additional access to some pot smoking moms content. Just gonna sound as annoying as possible as I play ourselves out.
We're going to just hit the bog as you play
Oh, but play it.
Okay.
Go hit the bong. Thank you so much for listening to Pot Smoking Moms.
Bye.